Hi Lily! This is the video breaking down the parts of the morning prayer that you're learning. I think we've learned all of the first page into the second page, and actually, yes, I'm going to send you a text, send you a text or something, maybe a Google Doc or something, with some of the more finer instructions on how to communicate the parts that you like to work on and so on, such as marking down the measure numbers. But I know that you've got the first theme, that one. I think you're fairly okay with that one. I will just since I haven't seen you for a couple weeks, I will just recap the second theme where you have the rolled chords with this part. That one. So I will just play the left hand without the left hand, only the right hand, and I will go rather slowly. And I hope the video is capturing how it looks like, where the correct fingering and so on, and also the sound. Well, yes, obviously. So I will start from where the forte is, the bottom line of the first page, and I will play those 8 measures, 4 groups of chords. Okay, so the first, I'll start. Next one. Next one. Next one. Oh, the last one I didn't have to hold very long. And I was just noticing that as I was playing that it's really important that you get the last one, the top note, nice and clear. Because that's actually the melody line. And next one, the melody line is. And that's why there is a forte on that. The forte forces you to make sure that each one of those notes are played clearly and strong. Nice and loud. And these are the kind of chord playing that you really need to press into the keys. You can't quite, I think, well, you are using the pedal, so in a way you could sort of twist the wrist and just. In a way you can. And in this case, I'm taking advantage of the pedal and I'm not really holding on to the notes, I don't have to do that with the pedal. I can just fly off like that. But my number one concern is that, to be able to play it and fly off, you will still have to know each one of those notes well. So you do have to be able to still play as chords. And next one. And then the next one. And that is sort of the prerequisite before you go to playing with the pedal, and not really having to hold on to each of those notes. In actual recital setting, you will know your notes well enough that you don't really have to hold on to the notes like you're really pressing it down. But it's still, you really need to know where your fingers are going to be. You can't, I don't think there is a situation where you can play a neighboring note and make it sound okay. For instance, that doesn't work. Any neighboring note will not sound correct at all. So yeah, make sure you know each of those notes well, and this is where you just have to memorize memorize the pattern. And if you can play fast like that, that means you have it down, and you won't ever have to, worry about whether you remember it or not. If so with memory, well, yes, do be able to, practice just the right hand and be able to play without really looking at your notes. Not so much. Definitely, you don't want to be reading beat by beat. And then during that time, the left hand is really simple. So, that's really just work on the right hand and make sure you know it well. And now with the main part, I know you've got that one fine. Now then it gets a little bit tricky. So the first four measures you're fine. When you have those that part where you're playing two notes for the right hand melody line, pull out just those four measures and play right hand alone, right hand with the left hand, and even with the pedal. I think you will find that the pedaling will help you ease a lot of the tension on your hand, because you don't really have to make a finger legato at that point, because the pedal will be sustaining it. And also you will have to use the pedal sooner or later. So I would suggest you to start using the pedal for that part, all of the first part, as soon as you feel ready. Those four measures, the harder ones, just practice right hand alone, right hand, left hand, and then with a pedal. Focus really on those four measure parts where the right hand plays two notes for the melody line, with two notes or more. And then I guess the middle section of page 2 is roughly the same thing. So if you've got that one, and if you've got those, you've really covered 2/3 of your piece. Actually more, because the very last piece, last page, half of last page is the repeat of the theme. So yes, do work on it and try to get to the line 4 of your second page, and with the pedal. Definitely add the pedal, and the introduction, if you feel like that's something you can just practice on its own with a pedal. Definitely with a pedal. It sounds very nice, so it's sort of fun to just know how to play it. And the chords. And I think that A flat that you find in the right hand, that's the A flat, is sort of interesting, because you don't see that A flat in the rest of the music. It's just they put it in just for the introduction. You don't even have it at the ending. So yeah, it's an interesting touch. Sounds very different. So yes, so you can work on the introduction as well. As soon as you are good with that part, then we will start working on the part that starts at the bottom of page 2, where the right hand is playing and the left hand crosses over. And that's another tricky part. So it's that's to Yeah, that'll come next. So keep on practicing and send me a video. Bye.